Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. In this week's video, we have the Thunderbolt 3 dock from ATEN? A-T-E-N? ATEN? I'm not really sure how to pronounce this. ATEN. This week, we've got the Thunderbolt 3 Multiport Dock. A dock like this has been on my agenda to take a look at since MacBooks have gone to USB-C only on the newer models. So docks like this are becoming more and more required for professional use especially. So let's take a look at this one. So right off the bat, some of the features here on the Thunderbolt 3 Multiport Dock. It supports both Thunderbolt 3 at 40 gigabits per second and USB 3.1 Gen 2 at 10 gigabits per second through a single Thunderbolt 3 cable. You can connect up to 8 devices to a laptop with a single cable, and you can then daisy chain up to 5 additional Thunderbolt devices from this. It's got an 85 watt universal power supply, so it will charge those MacBook Pros, which is a really nice feature for a MacBook Pro like the one I have here that's only got 2 USB-C ports. So anytime you want to add things to that, you can end up losing your ability to charge. Now, one of the main features of this particular dock is its ability to support 5K video over that single Thunderbolt cable or dual 4K displays, still allowing you to daisy chain other Thunderbolt devices along with that. And we've got some registration stuff. Got a user manual. We have the dock itself here, which is actually a really nice design, I think. It's very compact, goes well alongside there's a MacBook Pro in comparison, so it's a little darker, not quite space gray, but let's take a look at the main features here. Just starting from left to right on the back of the unit. Gigabit Ethernet, single port for that. We have USB 3, single port on the back here for that. We have an analog 3.5 millimeter stereo input, an analog 3.5 millimeter headphone stereo output. We have 2 USB-C ports, and then a display port output along with our power input, which is a DC 20 volt supply. So it's a power-hungry unit here, the Thunderbolt 3 Multiport Dock. And on the front, we have a single USB 3.1 Type A and a USB 3.1 Type C. Data only here. So if we look at the manual, we're looking at USB-C data only here on the front. Again, data only here, and this here is going to be your 85 watt charging port for your MacBook Pro or other, other laptops. There's a lot more laptops out there now coming with USB-C as standard, well beyond just Apple and Macintosh. So if 85 watts works for you, that's definitely going to be a nice feature. You just want to make sure that you check the USB-C charge rate of your laptop, and this will support 20 volts at 4.25 amps, 15 volts at 3 amps, 9 volts at 3 amps, or 5 volts at 3 amps. So you just want to check and make sure that this 85 watt charger is actually going to be compatible with your USB-C charged laptop or other device. And the model number of this unit is UH7230 to get a little more specific in case they do a revision of this somewhere down the line. I'm looking at this as an option for traveling, for mobile use. When I do mobile recordings, I'll take out my 2015 MacBook Pro as my primary machine and a 2016 MacBook Pro 13-inch, a smaller one, as a backup, and I end up carrying a pile of dongles, and it's difficult because when I go to use something like a Dante input or another audio interface, and then I need to have an external hard drive or 2 mounted, and then I need a power cable as well, you run out of ports right away. You've only got 2 USB-C ports on there, and I end up carrying a bunch of dongles and USB hub and all this other stuff. So a dock dock would be really nice. And that's where we run into the real problem. So this Thunderbolt dock, like this particular one for me at home or in the studio here, a couple things that I would love to see on this would have been a digital audio in or out. If these 3.5mm jacks brought back the optical I/O that the older MacBook Pros have, that would be incredible. That would be very useful. Having only the full-size display port there for an output, you know, an HDMI output would be handy. No SD card reader. That's something other docks definitely do offer. Something that would be nice to have back on a 2016 MacBook Pro. So, you know, things like that kind of, you know, for me, this particular model seems to be really designed, this one, for connecting up those multiple 4K devices or that 5K device, that 5K display. Now, this is where I really run into an issue with this unit personally is, like I said, if I was going to use this unit, it would most likely be for professional work while, you know, traveling, taking this out to expand other USB-C devices. And to that end, I gave it to a colleague, James Hurley, who works on projection with digital video and media, and had him take a look at it with their iMac Pros. And he was able to connect up a number of 4K devices and get the dual 4K devices working. I don't know anybody personally that has a 5K display or projector, but dual 4K displays, projectors work beautifully on this, and he was able to throw all sorts of stuff at it, playing large media back from a drive attached to this, and then out to multiple 4K displays. He had no problem whatsoever, no issues to report, no faults. As far as its features, they work beautifully. But here's the problem. So here's the other power cable that you need. So far you've got this dock that's nice and small. You could throw that in a bag. You imagine when you see this advertised of just sliding this into a pocket along with your sleek 2016 MacBook Pro, but then you need, you know, obviously USB-C cable, which it does come with, which is awesome. I appreciate that. Then you need this other cable, which is kind of it's not a non-standard, but it certainly wouldn't be super easy to find in a jam, but you need that cable too. And then you need this guy, this power brick, which is heavier than the entire dock there. So it's just really kind of a bulky package. You'd have to, that's what you'd need to travel with there. You know, you can complain all you want about dongles, but geez, this is a little bit beyond what I would want to carry for traveling. If you're doing multiple 4K displays, if you need that 5K ability in a dock like this could be a really interesting unit for the right use case. It seems to be built very well, absolutely no problems whatsoever, works beautifully. Obviously, I've only had it about 30 days, so I can't speak to longevity, but a very nice package, very well built, super rugged and professional. And if this meets your needs I/O wise and features wise, I'd definitely take a look at it. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you next time.